not pressing high. There's no high press. They're allowing the South Africans to have the ball in their final third, but a very defensive looking compact system that they are playing. It is similar to a 4-4-2 for Burkina Faso, but it also shapes up as a 4-2-3-1. Very interesting as these early exchanges show that it's a very cagey affair early on. South Africa with the ball out wide. Marelete, the man who's dominated the midfield for South Africa, playing the ball to Neo Botloko, and he takes the ball out wide. It is good combination, as cheaply given away there on the left-hand side, but it is South Africa still retaining a possession of the ball. Throw into South Africa on their right-hand side. We can see the young man Liam with the ball now. Martinez, he plays the ball out wide, and it is a very, very changed outfit, we can say, especially defensively for South Africa, as it is Leketla who is playing in the centre-back role alongside Martinezson, and then, as we said, it is Mokokosi who is operating in the middle of the park. We see number 9 there on the part of Burkina Faso, that is Diakite, trying to put the defense under pressure, but they have dropped off quite a bit and allowing South Africa the space and time on the ball. The ball now in the middle of the park, but South Africa's possession generally in their final third. It is Marelete on the ball at the moment. Burkina Faso not really seeing much of the ball. South Africa in these opening exchanges have really just kept hold of the ball and knocked it about, but more often than not just in their final third as they break down on the right flank now. You see there it is Sekhoto operating down the right-hand side for South Africa. He plays the ball to Stevens, and Stevens seems to have handled the ball, or it is a foul throw, in fact, that has been given, and that is against Sekhoto. South Africa with the high press, putting pressure on on Burkina Faso quite high up the field, but good work there from Bagayogo to make sure he keeps possession for his team. But it is once again back in the hands of South Africa. We can see there it is Mlangeni with the ball. Mlangeni fouled in the middle of the park. It is Mereletse once again with the ball in the middle, plays it back to Leketla. Leketla to Martinez, and he comes out wide to Mzimela. Mzimela also, who operated in the centre-back position for the opening 2 matches, playing in left centre-back, now finds himself operating down the left-hand side in the left full-back position. It is still in possession in the hands of South Africa, as we can see. Mokoko Se with the ball. Eventually, Martinez picks it up, and it is Marelete once again who picks it up in the middle of the park. Does beautiful work once again to just combine with Mokokosi in the middle of the park. But Burkina Faso have won it, and the counter-attack is on right now. But the ball given away very cheaply once again. Neither team really able to progress and cause any harm. It is once again a foul that has been committed, and the foul has come and is against Bagayoko. Bagayoko winning the foul. It is just inside the final third of South Africa. What will Burkina Faso do with this? Will they try to use their height? Will they try to use the height advantage they clearly have over South Africa? But only 2 men have made their way forward at this point. It is Dabo as well as Tapsoba in the 18 area for South Africa. More men joining in now, as we can see Diaby also getting forward now. It is South Africa who will have to do the defending. Can they defend against the bigger frames of the Burkina Faso players? Emile Witbooi tries to put his boots through the ball, but not much on his clearance, and the ball falls for Dabo. He keeps it in play. Can he put it? He centers it, and there are players attacking, but it is South Africa who make sure they get there ahead of everyone else, and it is Fofana now with the ball. Fofana tries to put in the cross, but it is once again propelled by South Africa, and it is Emile Witbooi now to break out, but good defending once again from the Burkinabe players, and it is that man, the danger man. Diakite on the ball. Martinez makes the tackle. There's a shout for a penalty, but the offside flag has gone up, so nothing will come from that. Burkina Faso now trying to impose themselves on the match after a very slow start. It is still very early days, and yes, certainly a correct call there, as it is Ouedraogo who did not time his run that well and straight offside off the pass from Diaby. Just going offside there is Ouedraogo. The ball back in the hands of South Africa, and it is Radebe in goal for South Africa, who plays it to Martinez. Martinez advances the ball, but once again, to play it back to Radebe. South Africa very patient in their build-up, and Burkina Faso not willing to expose themselves in any way. No high press employed. Happy for South Africa to have the ball in their final third. And as we see, both teams really just feeling one another out. Nobody really overly eager to advance the ball, but a great ball played out by Martinez, eventually at the feet of Stevens. He in turn switches it to the feet of Emil Witbooi. What can the Wonder Kid do? He goes at his man 1v1. Can he beat him? Gets the better of one, but unfortunately the ball has come off an arm there, and it is a Burkinabe free kick for the handball on Emil Witbooi. Very evenly poised at this point. We are just a few minutes into this match, but already you can see that this match is being played like a contest where a draw is pretty much good enough for both teams to advance in first and second. If the match stays as it is and it finishes at a level pegging, it will be as you were when the day started. South Africa in second, Burkina Faso finished top of the group, and that's exactly how the match has started. It's been played in that vein. Good interception. It is there from Dlekedla. He eventually finds it is Mareletse with the ball now in the middle of the park. He plays it out wide to Mzimela. Mzimela back to Martinez. Martinez taking his time, and it is pressure coming now from the Burkinabe players, and you can see they've almost lulled South Africa into that possession and then put pressure on them as they get forward. The shot there from Bagayogo, but unfortunately nowhere near the target of Radebe. South Africa now struggling to get out of their own half. Initially, Burkina Faso allowed them space and time, but it seems now that might have been a ploy to lull them into a false sense of security in possession, and they are beginning to put some pressure. The two men up front, Diakite as well as Tapsoba, making sure that the defense is uncomfortable as Mokokosi comes and drops deep to get the ball off his two center-backs. Ball now with Martinez. Martinez with Dlekedla, and he plays the ball into Stevens in the middle of the park. Again, losing possession there, nearly given away, but once again cleaned up. The long ball played forward by Martinez, looking for Witbooi, but nowhere near him, and Burkina Faso are able to play out, and it is that man, Ouedraogo, who plays it and gets forward with a double. Tapsoba now with the ball, picked up the long ball, plays it out wide. Can Burkina Faso profit from a really high possession up the field? Dlekedla with a timely interception. And it is once again Bagayogo with the ball. He plays it out wide to Diaby. Diaby with the overlapping run coming in support from Fofana. Eventually it is cleared away, and that is Zimela. South Africa at this point in time struggling to hold on to possession, and it is Burkina Faso now who have asserted themselves and are dominating possession and territory at the moment. South Africa knocking it about in their own territory, in their own half of the field, in their last third, but nothing really available to them beyond that. Martinez in possession once again. He plays it back to Mzimela, back to Martinez, back to Radebe. A bit of a loose pass there from Martinez. Got Radebe in trouble, and it is Martinez once again who finds Mokokosi again and into the feet of Radebe. Very risky football from the South Africans at the moment. They've lost possession in their final third quite a few times already, and that is a very risky way to play against a lethal Burkina Faso team, especially with the likes of Tapsoba around, who's already netted 3 times in this tournament. Radebe once again, Martinez with the long ball, and he plays it out wide, looking for Sekhoto. Not a clean take there from Sekhoto as he loses possession and plays in. Tapsoba down the left flank. Tapsoba then in to the feet of Bagayogo. South Africa win possession and they try to find Emil Witboy immediately, but it is a long ball and he's always going to struggle under that. It is now Diakite, good ball from him to Bagayogo, and it is Martinez with the interception. At this point in time, both teams not able to hold on to the ball for extended periods, loose in possession from both sides at the moment, but South Africa now advancing with the ball. Emil Witboy down the middle. He does have Sekhoto down the right-hand side, but unfortunately his intended through ball does not get there, and the ball is played out by Burkina Faso. Attacking down the right-hand side is Burkina Faso at the moment, but they keep possession. It is now a battle in the middle of the park. Who will come out tops? Great battle in the middle there. As we can see, it is Fofana along with Bagayogo in the middle of the park for Burkina Faso against Mareletse as well as Mlangeni. But once again, the offside flag has been raised from an advantageous position for Burkina Faso, but just not timing their runs, or the ball's being played a shadow just too late. And it was Ouedraogo who got forward once again. But as we see that loose ball once again from Martinez that nearly got Radebe in trouble. Very lethargic at the back there from the South Africans, not eager to advance the ball at any kind of pace. The ball just being knocked around, and as you can see there, it is Mokokosi and Radebe combining, and Martinez there. Can he get the ball out quick enough? It is Mzimela there, but he takes his time and goes back to Radebe. They are trying to lure the Burkina Faso players, and it is a long ball eventually played out by Tleketla. He does not find his man. The ball's being played out by South Africa. More often than not will be picked up by the taller Burkina Faso players. There's a distinct height deficit when it comes to South Africa against Burkina Faso. So the long ball not quite working for South Africa at the moment. The ball in the middle of the park, Mokokosi with a beautiful ball into Stevens as he tries to thread the ball through to Botloko, but it is intercepted, and a long ball played over. Tapsoba chasing this one, and he is battling with Martinez, who does beautifully to get there ahead of him. It is an interesting battle there between the two young men, but Martinez wins that respective battle. The ball played to Mlangeni. Eventually, it does fall at the field of Kokosi. Stevens out wide to Mareletse. As we can see, it is that man, Sekhoto, making a run out wide. It is Mlangeni who picks it up. Sekhoto on the ball now. Mareletse picks it up. He is operating in the middle of the park, but finds himself out wide. Stevens picks it up. They keep possession of it. Mlangeni goes for a shot from a speculative range, and unfortunately does not get anything of substance on it. The ball now at the feet of the dangerous Diaby, as it is his rightful back who goes on the overlap, Ouedraogo, but Diaby chooses to go inside and recycles the ball, and they keep possession. Tapsoba, the defender, that is Ashraf Tapsoba, with possession there, and they are knocking it about now. Burkina Faso themselves also not in a hurry to get forward. They know that they don't need to chase anything. They've already secured top of the group if the result stays as it is. Don't need to risk anything in this match. Neither team really needs to give away too much. They need to be really sure of themselves, and a point for both teams will see them through to the quarterfinal, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for both these two teams. Mareletse now with the ball, very comfortable in possession. You can see the ball, Mlangeni plays it out wide. It is South Africa still in possession. Sekhoto there beating his man, getting the ball in, squaring it, but unfortunately not falling for a green jersey, as it is Diaby wins it, and he goes on the overlap once again. Martinez beaten in the middle of the park, and he pulls down his man. Great work there from Diakite. The ball eventually, quick free kick taken out wide to Drago, but he is surrounded by 4 green jerseys and runs into trouble. Drago there with the foul on Zinella. Well, we can see there, I think Martinez got away with one there, pulling down Diakite after he was turned inside out. Lucky not to go into the ref's book on that occasion. The ball played out wide, and it is the dangerous Isubara. He cuts inside and looks to go for goal, but great block there from Tleketla, and eventually it is that man Sekhoto who helps out Tleketla as they put an end to that Burkina Faso attack. Langeni now with the loose pass once again, tries to find Vitboy, but the ball played too close to Ouedraogo. Possession turned over once again from Burkina Faso. It is now South Africa with the ball in the middle of the park. Stevens picks it up. He drives forward, plays it into the feet of Botloko. Botloko out wide. And the ball at the feet of Sekhoto to Marilete. Marilete to Botloko as he takes a shot. It is blocked by Burkina Faso. The ball still alive for South Africa with Marilete. Keeps possession. Eventually finds Stevens. Beautiful ball to find Stevens, but Stevens just barged aside by Burkina Faso. Eventually Martinez wins the clearance, and the ball at the feet of Stevens once again. South Africa are doing well to maintain possession in the half of Burkina Faso, something they've been unable to do for the better part of the 18 minutes that have already elapsed. Mokokosi now with the ball finds Botloko, who finds Stevens out to Marilete. Beautiful turn from Marilete. What does he do with it? Into the feet of Botloko once again. He drives forward with it. Can he get forward? But takes on one too many and runs into trouble. And it is Koulibaly who stops him in his tracks. And Stevens with the foul as Burkina Faso were trying to advance with Barra. Well, a cagey affair thus far. Nothing much to separate the two teams. Neither goalkeeper really called upon at this point in time. Neither goalkeeper really extended in any way. The ball very much, or the match very much played in the middle half of the field. So I would say very evenly contested at this point. Very cagey affair, as I've said before. But that's what's expected in a match where neither team necessarily has to win the match. Neither team really wants to give away too much. We know on the other side of town, it is a very different affair where Egypt come up against Cameroon for 3rd and possibly 4th place. Cameroon with an outside chance of finishing 2nd in the group, but they would need assistance from Burkina Faso. If Burkina Faso were to beat South Africa, that would mean Cameroon stand a chance of finishing level on 4 points with South Africa. It would then come down to goal difference as the head-to-head is tied. We see Blankeni getting forward into the box. He chips it to the far post. Nobody there. Emil Vitboy gets under it, and he literally gets nothing but air from that shot. A volley from Emil Vitboy, but unfortunately he gets the ball at his feet once again. It is Botloko. The ball stopped, and it is that man getting in the way there. Diabo, the captain, not allowing the shot to get in. It is now the counter. Diaby getting forward. Diaby assisted by Diakite. The two men combining down the right-hand side for Burkina Faso. And it is once again an offside as they do not time it well. Diaby not able to get in behind the South African defense. Well defended there from the likes of Mzibela as well as Martinez. It comes to naught, but Emil Vitboy with a glorious chance to open the scoring for South Africa. The ball dropped, and unfortunately not timing it in any way, shape or form, and it literally is easily the best chance of the match to open the scoring, and falling to South Africa's number 10. You would have banked your house on him opening the scoring and hitting the back of the net on that but unfortunately it remains at a level pegging. It is 0-0 as we do have a bit of a stoppage at the moment. 20 minutes gone, 21 minutes gone, and it is still a 0-0. Nothing to separate these two teams. A lot happening at the moment. South Africa. There is a VAR check. There is going to be a check. We'll see exactly what has happened, what has transpired, what the possible call could be. Well, it is Koulibaly's tackle on Emil Witbooi. Is there a shout for a penalty for South Africa? Well, Emil Witbooi does get there ahead of his counterpart, that is Mikhail Koulibaly. He gets the touch ahead of him and then is bundled over. Is it enough in the view of the officials to award South Africa with a penalty? It is the perfect time at the 22-minute mark for the respective teams to take a bit of a water break during the VAR check. This is a really close call. We'll see exactly what the decision will be. There's not really too much in it. I think the Burkinabe fans will feel that they'll feel hard done by if that one was to be given. But the rules as it stands, Emil Witbooi gets there ahead of his opponent and he does take contact. There is contact, and ultimately, more often than not, that is the deciding factor. Was it enough to take him down? That can be debated. As we see, the officials seem to have come to a decision. Penalty to South Africa. This will certainly change the complexion of this match. We have already seen Neo Botloko take 2 penalties in the match against Egypt. Is he the designated penalty taker? Is he the man that will be called upon once again to give South Africa the advantage? A really tough decision, but ultimately it could have gone either way. The decision is a penalty to South Africa. It is now Botloko versus Prince Ouedraogo. Who will come out tops? Burkina Faso have never gone down in the tournament. They have never come from behind. In both their matches, they led and saw the match to completion. Both times they had a 2-0 lead and conceded late goals for very, very cagey finishes, but they've never been behind. Will this be the first time in the tournament that they do go behind? South Africa have led and they have come from behind. Neo Botloko. Have Burkina Faso done their homework? Both occasions in the first match, he went to the goalkeeper's left. What will he do this time round? Prince Ouedraogo, how much have they watched? How much analysis have they done? It requires nerves of steel from the young man, Botloko, but he's been here before. He's done it twice already in the tournament. Can he do it a third time? Great save there from Prince Ouedraogo. Botloko changes his mind, he goes the other way. And Ouedraogo read him beautifully. Great save down to his left for Ouedraogo. Beautiful goalkeeping there to keep it at level pegging. I guess it was not meant to be. The young man will now have to raise his head. Not the greatest of penalties, just too close to the goalkeeper as Botloko changed his direction, went the opposite way to the previous 2 penalties that he has taken. It is a corner kick for South Africa. set play routine as they take it short. Stevens with the ball out wide after combining with Emil Witbooi. The ball all the way back now, and it is Mlangeni who just knocks it forward and eventually safely into the hands of Ouedraogo. And they will slow it down and just calm down the tempo of the match. Ouedraogo with the long ball forward. Great ball it ends up being as he finds the man out wide, Barra, who takes on his man. Barra with the ball. Long ball played in, it is Radebe who flaps at it. It falls to Burkina Faso, still Burkina Faso ball, but unfortunately that ball nowhere near the goal from Halidou Diakite. Well, Radebe not confident enough to catch it there, just kind of palms it back into play. The ball now started at the back for South Africa. Martinez in possession. Plays it out to Tleketla. Back to Martinez, as we can see now. South Africans once again starting slowly, just keeping possession of the ball, not rushing it forward. They're looking for the spaces to open up. Ball driven forward there from Martinez, finds Botloko. Eventually the ball with Mokokosi, and Botloko eventually gets on it. Ball played out wide. Stevens unfortunately not able to find Emil Witbooi. Tapsoba in possession now for Burkina Faso. Keeps possession of it as he challenges for the ball with Sekhoto. South Africa committing the foul once again, and it is Fofana with the quick free kick. He finds the man out wide. Barra beats his man. He's into the 18 area. Good recovery tackle there. Good touch from Sekhoto. Still a Burkina Faso ball in the South Africans half. Lwandiso Radebe coming out once again, clashing with his own teammate Martinez. Eventually the ref brings play to a halt as Radebe goes down under the challenge of Martinez. Was not a foul, but South Africa were in possession of the ball, and that's why the referee did stop the ball. Clashing with his own teammate there. Radebe and Martinez getting in one another's way there. Radebe stays down, and South Africa will breathe a sigh of relief with the long ball being played in there. 2 balls now that Radebe has come for but hasn't cleanly taken, as we see Coach Vela Kumalo there after the save from Ouedraogo, looking a little bewildered, but absolutely stellar save there from Ouedraogo. South Africa will now have to pick themselves up and forget about the penalty miss, as we see the Burkinabe supporters in full voice and song at the moment, making sure their players hear and feel their support. Radebe is back up on his feet and he is ready to go. South Africa with a completely new look backline as Sekhoto playing out wide. Sekhoto at the right fullback position, and Mzimela operating on the left. Martinez as the left centre back, and Tleketla operating as the right centre back, with the captain Mokokosi playing in the middle of the park in that number 6 role. Martinez and Tleketla certainly give them a bit more of imposing figures in that centre-back position, which is needed against the likes of Tapsoba, as well as Diakite and Diaby. Martinez once again tries to play that ball out wide to Sekhoto. Sekhoto able to keep it after not the greatest of deliveries there from Martinez, but the ball's still alive for South Africa. It is Stevens who plays it into his captain, Mokokosi, into Martinez. Martinez to Tleketla. The ball kept in possession for South Africa. Mlangeni asking for it in the middle of the park. It is Martinez who keeps it, plays it out wide to Tleketla, to Stevens in the middle again. The South African players just floating in the middle at the moment. Good work and good counter press there from Stevens to make sure they win it back after being loose in possession in the middle of the park there. South Africa really quick to make sure they put pressure once it is lost. And it is Fofana once again who will start play. Ali Kone plays it into his captain, Dabo. Dabo out wide to Ouedraogo. He plays it beautifully into the middle of the park, and it is Diaby out wide. Can he beat his man? 1v1, plays in the cross. It falls at the feet of Burkina Faso, but great block there from Martinez off the shot from Bagayogo. Still alive there for Burkina Faso, as it was Barra who finds Bagayogo once again, but he's not able to get his shot on target. But great last-ditch defending once again, and it is a combination of Martinez as well as Leketla made sure that shot from Bagayogo was not going to trouble Radebe in goal for South Africa. It is played out wide there from Radebe. Good ball into Mzimela after pressure from the danger man there, Diaby. Emil Witbooi with the ball now, plays it into the feet of his captain, Mokokos, as it drives it out wide to Sikhota. Sikhota takes it on the first touch, comes inside. Emil Witbooi is available into Stevens. Beautiful work from South Africa to keep possession. Steven looking for Mlangeni out wide after the header from Ouedraogo. Mlangeni picks it up. Still Mlangeni. He goes all the way across. Sikhota with the shot at the far post. Unfortunately, can't keep it down, and he skies his effort. Great work there from Mlangeni, who drives all the way across the 18 area of Burkina Faso, and eventually the ball falls at the feet of Sikhota, but he can't keep it down. All he needed to do was hit the target, unable to do so, and the score remains unchanged. 33 minutes have gone. South Africa probably with the better of the opportunities at this point, having missed a penalty as well. They'll feel that they have done enough to open the scoring at the very least, but it remains 0-0. Fofana picking it up in the middle, and it is the number 10, Bagayogo, once again. Plays the long ball, but it is Radebe who picks it up, bowls it out to Marelete, who finds himself with some space to run into. Beautiful ball out to Witbooi. What can he do with it? It is up against Ouedraogo as he loses out. He loses his footing, unfortunately, and Ouedraogo is able to recover, but a loose pass from Ouedraogo puts the ball out of play, and it is South Africa who pick it up once again. Mokokosi picks it up. Mlangeni in the middle of the park with the ball out to Leketla. Mlangeni combining with Mokokosi in the middle of the park. Marelete playing in a much more advanced role this afternoon. See there, Stevens coming short to look for it, but again, a loose pass in the middle of the park. Mokokosi takes down his counterpart, Bagayogo, in the middle of the park. Again, off the loose pass, unfortunately there, from Stevens, played into the middle there. Gets his captain into a bit of trouble, and he gets a stern warning from the officials, but a professional foul, if you can call it that, from Mokokosi, knowing that if Bagayogo advances, there could be trouble for South Africa. So took one for the team there. Lucky not to go into the ref's book as well, Mokokosi, but a good foul indeed in respect of his country. Well, 35 minutes have gone in this encounter, and not much to separate these two teams. There have been chances on both ends, as we see Diaby driving forward with the ball. It is Mzimela who does beautifully to get between his man and the ball and win the foul under pressure there from Diakite. South Africa with the opportunity to play out the back, play out of pressure. It is Radebe with the ball uncontested, and he will play out. Leketla to his right, Martinez to his left. He goes to Martinez to the left. Mzimela inverting somewhat to try and create the space for Emil Witbooi to receive the ball, but they choose to go back and keep possession. Martinez on the ball. Mzimela the option out wide. Leketla the option to his right, but he goes back to his goalkeeper. Again, in no hurry. Both teams, as I said earlier, happy with the point as things stand. The win is a bonus. But 5 points for South Africa, enough, as we see Mereletse put the ball into the middle, but it is Dabo, the captain, who intercepts, and he plays it out to Bara. Bara driving down the left flank for Burkina Faso, evades one tackle, cuts it back, finds Fofana in the middle of the park. Fofana just restarting possession, goes back into defense, plays it into the feet of Kone. Kone to Dabo. Dabo drives forward with it, tries to find Ouedraogo, who is not on the same page as his captain, and the ball goes out wide for a throw for South Africa. Zimela starts the ball, takes it back to defense with Martinez into Mokokosi. Mokokosi to Tleketla. Sekhoto out wide, avails himself, and it is Stevens out wide available, but Sekhoto chooses to go back. Martinez with the ball, Zimela available. South Africa knocking it around, keeping possession as Diaby puts pressure just to a certain point. Allows Radebe possession of the ball uncontested. South Africa again very slowly will move the ball forward. Mareletse avails himself, comes inside looking for options, none available to him, chooses to go back. It is Mokokosi once again, dropping in between the two centre-backs. Martinez there into Mokokosi once again, and it is the long ball played out wide. Does it reach him, Zimela? Not quite. Ouedraogo does beautifully to keep it in play, drives forward from that right full-back position. The ball over the top. Radebe gets there ahead of Tapsoba. Beautiful work from the man in between the sticks for South Africa. But the offside flag has been raised once again. The ball played forward, Tapsoba not timing his run, had straight offside, but Radebe wasn't to know this. Comes off his line in timely fashion to make sure nothing comes of it, and clears the ball as Diaby once again chases forward to put the defense under pressure. Again, a risky back pass, but Radebe gets it away in time. The ball in the middle now with South Africa. Mlangeni in to Botloko, to Mareletse. Mareletse out. He keeps possession of it, turns his man, and then into the feet of Botloko. Botloko tries to thread the needle to get Emil Witbooi in, but too many white jerseys in between himself and the recipient, the intended recipient of that pass. Mlangeni loses possession in the middle of the park. Tapsoba picks it up. Oh, good work there from Mokokosi, the captain. But still, the ball is with Burkina Faso, and it is that man, Diaby, once again. 1v1 against Mlangeni. He takes him down the line. Can he get beyond his man? Eventually chooses to bring in the cross, and it is Martinez in good position to get the ball clear. The ball headed down by Mlangeni. Good work from Witbooi, but unfortunately, Ouedraogo brings him down. Free kick to South Africa. Well, neither team's influence really able to come to the fore. We've seen in the past Diaby having fantastic joy down this right flank for Burkina Faso, as well as Emil Witbooi, always lethal when he's running with the ball at his feet. But neither one really able to assert themselves on this tussle this far. South Africa in possession, knocking the ball around. Ball played forward. It is Mareletse who lets it run beyond him. Stevens does beautifully, but unfortunately, once again, not able to pick out Botloko, who is looking to get beyond that Burkina Faso defensive line of Dabo and Kone. Bagayogo with the ball, switches it to Diaby. Beautiful ball out wide to Diaby, but his first touch is not a clean one, and he loses it to Mzimela, who's able to pick it up and played against him for the throw. And then the quick throw from Mzimela to Mlangeni, who is fouled in the middle of the park. Mokokosi to restart it. Martinez picks it up. Kleketla with the ball now, back to Martinez. Marilete with a beautiful ball into Motloko. Unfortunately, too close to the Burkina Faso defenders, as we can see now. Barra breaking into the penalty area for Burkina Faso. He tries to go for goal from an acute angle, but it is stopped. He gets a second bite at it, and it falls at the feet of Diakite, but he's not able to profit. And he puts, from point-blank position, puts the ball wide after Barra had the initial shot that was saved by Radebe. The official signaling that the play must be delayed. Barra picked up the second overhead kick coming in from him, and then it needed to just be slotted there from Halidou Diakite. But unfortunately, his effort goes wide when it seemed easier to find the back of the net. South Africa breathe a huge sigh of relief as they got away with one in that moment. One of the better chances of that first half for Burkina Faso. Certainly as good a chance as we've seen in this opening half. South Africa will lose in possession once again in the middle of the park as Mokokosi gives it away. It is Diaby down this right-hand side. He cuts onto his favorite left. It's into the middle, but an extra pass costing them. It is at the feet of the man who missed a gilt-edged opportunity earlier, Diakite, and a very tame effort ultimately straight into the hands of Radebe. Diakite not getting much on that one. Seemed like some tired legs there already in that shot. Not being able to get or generate any kind of power to get beyond. His man Emil Bidboy with some great feet in the middle of the park gets beyond by his man, but unfortunately the impetus lost there as Bagayogo was turned inside out by Emil Bidboy there. The ball still with South Africa. Bidboy has it at his feet once again, drives forward beautifully as fouled by Tapsoba. Advantage played, and unfortunately the ball looking for Botloko, the run of Botloko, unfortunately is played in behind him and just goes and runs harmlessly through to Prince Ouadrago in goal for Burkina Faso. Nothing coming of that, but eventually Emil Bidboy coming alive in this match, showing exactly what he's capable of. Once he has the ball at his feet, is really, really dangerous. Diaby now through on this right-hand side. Will he go for goal? He does, but once again, Radebe beautifully placed, positioned, and nothing comes of it. Stevens loses possession in a dangerous Fofana picking it up, and it opens up once again, and it is Tapsoba, the man they've relied on to get goals for them in this tournament, with a gaping goal to look at. He skies his effort as well. Unfortunately, not able to profit from it, tries to pick his spot, gets under it, leaning back, and once again, out of jail for South Africa. South Africa playing very, very risky football at the moment in their half, in their final third, I should say, their defensive third, taking excessive risk in a match that could prove very costly should they concede, where they've lost possession in literally their final third. If they were to concede, it would be devastating. We can see there Dabo challenging in the middle of the park there, in an extremely advanced position for the centre-back. While it is Tapsoba and Diakite who have really squandered some glorious opportunities for Burkina Faso. I guess the match being at a level pegging is probably a fair result, given the opportunities that both teams have had. South Africa with the missed penalty, and Burkina Faso towards the end of this first half with some really, really glorious opportunities. The South Africans now have really started exposing themselves, opening up at the back with some loose passes, with 5 or 6 players in advanced positions, losing the ball cheaply, as we see Bara once again advancing down that left flank. He cuts inside once again onto his favorite right boot, finds Bagayogo. But good defending once again from South Africa. The ball cleared by Marelete, not able to find the intended target of Botlhoko. And it is Burkina Faso who come forward once again. Marelete just boots it forward. Botlhoko will get on the end of this one. And it is Botlhoko who tries to find Mlangeni. But unfortunately, the ball is intercepted and cut out by Kone. It is end-to-end stuff now as Diaby finds Diakite. It is Bagayogo, in fact. Good work there from Martinez to make sure that Bagayogo doesn't get beyond him. But it is very loose now towards the end of this first half. South Africa living dangerously, allowing the Burkina Faso to really come alive in this closing stanza, as we have already played 2.5 minutes of the allotted 4 minutes of stoppage time. The ball floated in there once again. Radebe being put under pressure, but he does well as he gets the foul and gets the protection of the official. Being put under pressure there from Bagayogo as well as Tapsoba. The South African goalkeeper really coming under pressure from the set plays, not getting much assistance from his teammates in that moment. Well, it is Radebe down at the moment, and I think it's Bagayogo as well who has stayed down. Well, at this point in time, 0-0. Both teams probably will go into the halftime break happy to not be down, but both teams feeling that they could be ahead at the same time. We are 3.5 minutes into the allotted 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Will the referee add some stoppage for the stoppages in stoppage time? That remains to be seen, but a very evenly contested match out here at the Larbi Zuli Stadium in Casablanca. What a tournament it's been thus far. Drama aplenty. In this half, we've already seen a missed penalty, a gilt-edged opportunity on the part of South Africa, and quite a few on the part of Burkina Faso as well. A lot will be said in the halftime break as we see the end of the first half. Great action from both sides. Great contest as a whole. As things stand, both teams will be happy with the result, as both teams will advance with the score as it stands. 0-0, good enough for Burkina Faso to finish on 7 points, and South Africa to finish on 5, which would see both teams into the quarterfinal of the Under-17, the CAF Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. That would be first prize for both teams. The score out in the other match, 1-0 at this point in time. Cameroon have taken the lead against Egypt. Well, it is 1-1 in fact, as the Egyptians did level matters in the 43rd minute. So level pegging there, and that result will see Cameroon finish in 3rd as things stand, and Egypt will finish with a solitary point in 4th place. Cameroon would then move on to 2 points, which would be good enough to see them through to the 3rd place playoff. Remember, 2 teams who finish 3rd in their respective groups will still qualify for the World Cup, as 10 teams will represent Africa. The top 2 from the 4 respective groups and 2 3rd place finishes will make up the contingent of 10 teams that will do duty for Africa at the World Cup later this year. As things stand, South Africa with a 71% possession in this match, but it is 11 shots that Burkina Faso dominate over 4 from South Africa. 6 on target for Burkina Faso, only the 1 for South Africa. 8 fouls committed to South Africa's 7, and 1 corner to speak of. The 3 offsides on the part of Burkina Faso. That tells a story all its own. South Africa living very dangerously towards the end of that first half, and it is 0-0 into the halftime break. What will be said in the respective dressing rooms, that remains to be seen. We'll see exactly what they will do coming out of the halftime break. Will there be any changes made? Are both teams happy to continue as is? Will both teams just see out the 45 minutes and look forward to the quarterfinal? We'll check all that out in the second half. A lot to speak of, a lot of action. We'll keep our eyes and our ears peeled to exactly what is happening in the other Group B match that is being played at the Stade Al Bashir in Mohammedia. The scoreline at halftime, 1-1 between Cameroon and Egypt. We'll be back with more action. South Africa living dangerously very early on in this match. As we see Martinez selling his goalkeeper a little short there with the back pass. And then South Africa able to get forward beautifully. It is Mlangeni who got forward. The ball out fell to Emil Witbooi. And then eventually he was able to get an extra touch. The VAR decision ruling that it was enough for a penalty kick to be given. And eventually it is Neo Botloko against Ouedraogo in goal for Burkina Faso, who came out tops in that instance. Ouedraogo with a beautiful save to his left, diving to his left, but Botloko would feel that he possibly should have just stuck to his guns, as his 2 penalties against Egypt went the other way. But great work there from Ouedraogo. You saw Barra dominating down that left flank for Burkina Faso as well, does beautifully there, and then with the bicycle kick, the ball falling for Diakite, but a gilt-edged opportunity that will cause him sleepless nights as he misses that one. And then losing possession once again. Fofana picking out Tapsoba, but Tapsoba, who's been very reliable for Burkina Faso throughout this tournament thus far, unfortunately skies his effort. A gilt-edged opportunity there from Tapsoba. And that is how we went into the halftime break. 0-0 it was. South Africa against Burkina Faso. what we must, man. The teams have made their way out for the second half of this crunch Group B encounter at the Larbi Zuli Stadium. Burkina Faso get things underway, and it is the captain Dabo who plays the long ball forward, falls at the feet of Maralete, picks it up, and South Africa regain possession. As things stand, halftime, things remain unchanged. Both teams happy to continue as things were in the first half. It is Burkina Faso now who seem to be applying a higher line, but it's just the two frontmen, Diakite as well as Tapsoba, who are applying the high pressure. The rest of the team dropped off quite deep. As we can see, they're not looking to expose themselves in any way. They want to make sure that they do not leave any gaps, especially in the middle of the park, where the South Africans have proved quite dangerous. So South Africa also happy to keep possession at the back. Things are all square in Mohammedia as well between Cameroon and Egypt. It is Emile Witbooi who drives forward, but unfortunately can't get the better of Ouedraogo. That is Abdul Ouedraogo in the right fullback position. It's played to Bagayogo, but he's unable to bring in Bara into play there. It is still very tightly contested, especially in the middle of the park. We see Fofana as well as Bagayogo operating in the middle of the park. And then it is almost a flat 4-4-2 formation for Burkina Faso. They have the four at the back. It is Ouedraogo out on the right. And then you have the captain, Dabo, partnered by Kone in the middle, in the two centre-back positions. And then out wide, you have Mikhail Koulibaly in the left full-back position. Bagayogo as well as Fofana are the two midfielders for Burkina Faso as the ball is played over the top, and it is Barra who seems to be through. It is Sekhoto who makes the tackle initially, and Dick Leketla eventually cleans things up. Good pressure coming through there to make sure that South Africa do not advance the ball. It is Bagayogo who eventually turns it out for a goal kick. But once again, the ball over the top, proving very dangerous for South Africa and might be an avenue for Burkina Faso to get through. Something they'll look to really profit from. But Sekhoto caught up high once again. It is Diaby driving in, but he's shot from quite a long way out. Not really troubling Radebe, easily dealt with there for the man wearing the #1 jersey for South Africa. Well, as I was saying, it is Fofana and Bagayogo in the middle of the park for the Burkina Faso team, and then it is Issouf Bara as well as Abdoulaye Latif Diaby playing in the wide positions, and Diakite and Tapsoba are the two front men for Burkina Faso. It is that man, Botloko, now played through. Does he get through? Is he bundled over? It is another penalty for South Africa. Great combination play in the middle of the park between Botloko as well as Stevens, and he is impeded as he goes down. It is a penalty there. Botloko doing beautifully to make sure he gets there ahead of his opponents. Ultimately, it is that man coming across. Koulibaly one of two players, the two fullbacks, in fact, having to cover after the two centre-backs had committed themselves. It is Ouedraogo as well as Koulibaly who literally sandwiched Botloko. And that's how the penalty is conceded. Does the young man now step up? Does he have the confidence to once again step to the plate? It is Emile Witbooi who seems to be taking authority on this one. Emile Witbooi stands over the ball. Will he be the difference? Neo Botloko not taking this penalty after missing the initial one in the first half. Can Emile Witbooi put South Africa ahead? Well, this decision is going to be reviewed to the delight of the Burkina Faso players. They're clapping their hands. They're saying there was nothing that was done wrong there. There was no foul. As we see this one coming down to a VAR decision once again. It was a coming together of legs there. They got tangled. But Botloko seems to be ahead of his opponent though. Not sure what the review is about or what exactly the official is asked to look at. But it seems like Botloko had the run on his opponent. There was a coming together of the legs. Does that constitute Botloko kicking Ouedraogo? Is that why maybe now Botloko is seen as the aggressor? It's Ouedraogo who puts his leg ahead of Botloko where he's trying to control the ball. Ultimately, he was ahead of his opponent. A really tight call, this one. What does the official, the VAR team, ultimately, what is the final decision? It is overturned. The decision is overturned. No penalty. Well, one thing I can tell you, that is two penalty decisions that were very, very close. And you can understand why they had to be reviewed. I think even the first one that was given South Africa's way, you can understand why initially it was not given. And then this one is initially given and then overturned. But both decisions are very, very close. Ultimately, you can't begrudge the teams, the officiating in those decisions, because it feels like both could have gone either way. Ultimately, no penalty, and a scare for Burkina Faso survived. Well, they are dropping off now. It's at walking pace. It's literally at pedestrian pace right now. The match is being played at. Neither team has to risk anything. Neither team wants to risk anything. Burkina Faso are at risk of losing first place in the group. South Africa are at risk of potentially not qualifying, depending on what happens in Mohammedia. But as things stand, both teams advance. And so I expect the balance of the match to probably be played in that vein. It is Diaby who wants to change the complexion. He wants to change things, putting pressure on the South African defense when his teammates are happy to just concede possession. Klekedla there ran into a bit of trouble, possibly lucky to receive that call from the officiating team. But it is South Africa who remain in possession. It is Mzimela in possession of the ball. Mokokosi now. Stevens avails himself. They find him. Stevens advances with the ball. Takes the touch into Emile Witbooi. Beautiful pass. South Africa, can they keep possession? It is Mzimela with a speculative effort, which is deflected and takes the sting off of the shot and sails harmlessly into the hands of Ouedraogo. That is Prince Ouedraogo in goal for Burkina Faso. Long ball played forward now. Unfortunately, straight out of play. It was intended for Issouf Bara, who's caused all sorts of problems for South Africa down this left-hand side for Burkina Faso. The long ball played by Ali Kone, nowhere near its intended target. South Africa now able to play out the back. Mzimela with the ball out to Mokokosi. Mokokosi now stepping into the center, in between the two center backs. And it is Martinez and Dlekedla who've looked very solid in that center back as the center back pairing this afternoon. The ball headed out. Is it kept alive by Barra? Yes, it is. He's challenged by Stevens, but it is Diakite, in fact, who keeps it alive and does beautifully. Gets forward, but unfortunately unable to find his teammate in Koulibaly as South Africa lose possession once again. And it is Burkina Faso who start things with Koulibaly into Fofana. Fofana forward, but again, the ball lost. Mzimela with possession, plays it forward. It is Botloko who picks it up. Mzimela plays it forward, but there is a foul that Botloko is happy to take. The referee tried to play advantage, but South Africa happy to take the foul in the middle of the park. It's really played at a pedestrian's pace right now. South Africa literally just happy to keep possession. Burkina Faso happy to drop off and allow them possession in their half. Mokokosi now with the ball, plays it out to Dlekedla. It is Sekhoto out wide. The ball floated over the top. Can he take it on his first touch? Does beautifully to keep possession, but loses his footing at a critical moment and allows Koulibaly to step in and take possession. It is now with the man Kone. Kone loses it. Again, Botloko not able to keep possession of the ball that is played into his feet by Emil Witbooi. Some challenges coming in there. Sokhota on Fofana. South Africa have the throw. This is what South Africa will want to do now. Keep possession and keep playing in the half of Burkina Faso. It is Maralete in possession of the ball. Keeps possession beautifully. Finds the man, Mzimela. Unfortunately, a short pass there. He sells his teammate with that pass. Mlangeni to Mzimela, that was short, but now Mlangeni has to cover for his teammate. The ball played, but Radebe beautifully done there to keep possession. Stevens loses it once again. The shot coming in from Bagayogo, but it is wide. South Africa have more often, too often I should say, lost possession in critical areas of the field where the ball is literally down the middle and straight at goal thereafter. But Radebe has handled it beautifully. Great hands from the young man to relieve some pressure. It is Dlekedla now. Ball played by Dlekedla, knocked down, and it is Mokokose who picks it up. The ball with Radebe now, and he boots it forward, looking for Botloko, but he's being challenged by two big men. It is Marilete who picks it up, keeps possession, is bundled over, but he does beautifully to just draw the foul from Fofana there. Ultimately, possession retained for South Africa, but the long ball out for Botloko, challenging for it with the likes of Kone and Dabo. An absolute mismatch there. But good work there from Marilete, keeps possession. Seems to have taken a knock from behind from Fofana. Receiving some medical attention now, the young man, but the ball stays in possession of South Africa. As we can see, the Burkinabe fans in full voice with their makeshift, what we would call vuvuzelas. It's been a great tournament, great atmosphere thus far. Some really great football from the under-17 contingent of our football talent on the continent. We've seen some really, really great work, as Marilete will have to make his way off the field after receiving treatment. No signs of changes No signs of movement. A few Burkina Faso players warming up, none from South Africa. Seems both teams are currently happy with the personnel on the field. No one really looking to change things at the moment. Mzimela stepping in there, good work to make sure Diakite doesn't get on the end of that. But a loose ball again from Radebe, not well cleared. Picked up there by Diakite, but a loose ball from Diakite, loses it to Mzimela as he plays it out to Mlangeni. Mlangeni then drives into the middle of the park, into the feet of Marelete, finds Vitboy, oh, ball into Vitboy, ricochets into the path of Vitboy. Eventually he finds Botloko with the ball at his feet, tries to bend it, but unfortunately gets blocked by Ouedraogo, recenters it, falls to Stevens. It is Mlangeni on the ball at his feet, and is eventually cleared. And still, South Africa pick it up. Now Marelete with the ball, out wide to Sikhoto. Sikhoto back to Marelete, finds Stevens. Stevens does well to find Vitboy. Again, beautiful play there from the South Africans, combining well. Beautiful interplay there. Still at the feet of South Africa, it is Marelete still with the ball at his feet. Sikhoto opens up wide, but the ball doesn't come out wide. Marelete tries to force it down the middle, but is eventually stopped. The ball still with the South Africans. Good work from Tleketla at the back to keep possession. Again, Marelete with the long ball to find. It is intercepted by Koulibaly, but falls to Vitboy. Turns his man. Vitboy once again, still Vitboy, but eventually Koulibaly able to intercept. Still South Africa in possession. South Africa now with a great passage of play. Mlangeni with the cross. Intercepted. Mokokosi picks up the loose ball. Vitboy with the ball at his feet on the edge. Mokokosi still in possession. Eventually Fofana picks it up, plays it out to Diaby, and the counter-attack is on. It is a 5v3 situation. What can Diaby do? What can he conjure up? He is faced by Mzimela 1v1, but Mzimela gets the better of him and draws the foul. Diaby not able to get beyond Mzimela. Great defending ultimately from the South Africans. After a great passage of play, not much that Diaby could do there. Mlangeni into Marelete. Marelete to Vitboy. Vitboy in some space into Stevens. Sikhoto makes the run down the flank. Picks it up now. Goes at his man Koulibaly 1v1. Koulibaly does beautifully but concedes the corner kick. But the game has really come alive now, and it is end-to-end stuff as just about 62 minutes of football have elapsed. It is Stevens on the ball. Emil Vitboy in close proximity. We've seen them with their set plays from the corner kicks. Possibly the short corner kick will be taken. Emil Vitboy to create the 2v1. But it is played in by Stevens. It is Ouedraogo comes fists. And it is cleared away by Tapsoba. The ball at the feet of Mlangeni. Mlangeni out wide to Sikhota. They keep possession, not in a hurry to get forward. Mzimela now with the ball out wide for South Africa. Martinez has Mlangeni for support. Leketla now with the ball out to Sikhota out wide. South Africa regrouping, recovering, getting back into possession after the corner kick. It is Mlangeni. Mokokose in between the two centre-backs, finds Stevens. South Africa now finding their spaces, or showing up in the spaces, I should say. Barra with the ball now, after again loose possession in the middle of the park. The ball played forward by Bagayogo. Knocked down to Tapsoba. Can't allow him to shoot. We've seen what he's capable of. His effort goes just wide of the goal. Good pressure coming there from Mokokosi as well as Leketla. But too much space and time. But good knockdown between, or good combination play between the two front men. That is Diakite as well as Tapsoba. Eventually, Tapsoba with the strike, but it going wide of goal. South Africa breathing a sigh of relief. A lot of hearts would have been in their throats seeing the ball fall into the path of Tapsoba. We know that he's got quite the strike on him. But Loko through on goal, possibly. It is 1v1. Great tackle in the end, coming through there from Ali Kone. It is the captain, Dabo, who allowed the ball to just run beyond him and nearly allowed Botloko to run clean through on goal, if not for the timely interception of his centre-back partner, Kone. For once, the long ball working for South Africa. Short corner kick taken. Stevens with the ball. Emil Witbooi showing up. It is Marilete into the feet of Witbooi. 1v1 once again. Gets a touch on, but it is Ouedraogo with the tackle. Tapsoba now looking for it. Good work there from Langeni. Short pass though from Langeni. Unfortunately, it is now Dara. And that's the opening goal. Mistake coming through there from Langeni, not able to get purchase on his back pass to Radebe, and it is intercepted. Eventually the ball played through to Bara, and he makes no mistake, 1v1 against Radebe for the opening goal. The back pass proving costly, and that is the opening goal of this exchange. After some great work from South Africa, you could say that that was very much against the run of play. South Africa were doing beautifully, getting forward, beautiful combination plays, but nothing really to show for it. And one breakout from a defensive corner kick. They lost possession, the ball cleared. We see the tackle there, not really anything to talk about. Langeni tries to play the ball to Radebe. It's short pass, Tapsoba picks it up, plays in Bara, and Bara needs no second invitation. He makes sure that he just picks his spot, side foots it into the back of the net for the opening goal. Well, that could prove costly for South Africa. As things stand, South Africa now are on 4 points, and Burkina Faso moved to a full complement of 9 points. As things stand, South Africans will now have to step up. We've seen them come from behind before. Can they do it again to really keep themselves alive in this tournament? Their future is still in their grasp. They just need to come out and make sure they do the business. As we see now, South Africa have made a change, and it is Siphiwe Mlondo has entered the fray. Mlondo has come onto the field. It is a corner kick for South Africa. It is Marilete who comes across to take the set play. Mlondo does beautifully to get beyond his man, but it is just a corner kick to show for his efforts. Mlondo now making sure that he makes life a little difficult for Ouedraogo in goal. Marilete with this corner kick, plays it in to the near post. Unfortunately, does not beat the man on the near post. Easily dispelled. I think it is Fofana there on the near post who deals with it. Sikhota now with the throw. His teammates urging him to step forward and take the ball forward where the ball actually went out. Well, I can tell you that Mlondo has replaced Stevens. I would imagine some of the loose touches in possession, the decision in that substitution. But Mlondo now has the opportunity to really prove his worth and bring his nation back into this contest. The ball there with Bara, plays it long, but it is Martinez under it. Does beautifully. Ball played out wide from Okokosi to Emil Witbooi. Does beautifully to turn his man. Tries to play it into the feet of Botloko, but unfortunately the ball running through to Ouedraogo. Well, I can tell you that there has been another goal scored on the other end. And again, it is Koulibaly who is taken down by Sikhota, and that surely will see his name taken into the book. Egypt are doing the business and are doing South Africa a huge favor on the other end. Egypt with a 2-1 lead as things stand, which certainly would be in South Africa's favor. Because as things stand, Egypt now on 3 points in third position in the group. And remember, that third position still all important, as that is still a qualifying spot. Cameroon now bottom of the group on 1 point. So things in Mohammedia going South Africa's way, if we could say that. Cameroon also have received a red card in that encounter. South Africa still will want to take their destiny and keep their destiny firmly in their grasp, but it is Burkina Faso who now have a set play in a very dangerous position. 3-man in the wall. What will come of this? It is Bagayogo. He goes straight for goal. Seemed to be a hand on that one. That possibly will be looked at, but it is Sikhota who seemed to get a hand on that while in the wall. The ball played forward. It is Radebe who comes and punches out. The ball cleared long and goes out for a goal kick. Will this one be reviewed? Certainly strikes the arm of Sikhota, but play has continued. Nothing to talk about, says the officiating team. I guess, as they say, his hand in a natural position. South Africa with the foul inside the half of the opponents will look to advance. South Africa with the ball in the opponent's penalty area, but nothing to show for it. The ball going out wide. It is Martinez who picks it up. Martinez and Mzimela once again being put under pressure. Mzimela, Martinez does beautifully to find Mzimela. Vitboy with the ball, Mokokose. It is Mzimela once again. Martinez with the ball. Long ball to find Sikhota, but it is Koulibaly who intercepts. Knocked down there from Marelete into Mlondo, but he's not able to pick out Sikhota. Long ball played forward once again, and it is a 1v1 situation. It is Diakite against Martinez. He has bodies, he has support. Ultimately there, nothing wrong, says the official. Diakite going down under the challenge of Martinez, and it is South Africa who now advance. Well, it is Diakite who stays down, but South Africa get forward. And the ball played through, Botloko through on goal. He turns and cuts inside at the feet of Marelete. Nzimela, too many touches around the box. Nothing really coming in. Botloko, great save there from Ouedraogo. Prince making himself big, coming forward and thwarting the effort of Neo Botloko. He does beautifully, makes himself big and gets hands on it. Great save there from the young man in goal for Burkina Faso, Prince Ouedraogo. That had a goal written all over it. Great save from Ouedraogo. I don't think there's much more than Botloko could have done. Picked his spot, tried to play it wide of the goalkeeper, but that goes down as a match-winning, a potentially match-winning save from Ouedraogo. We see the review now there. It is Martinez. There is contact. He gets a touch, but I think it is Diakite who goes down very cheaply. Will this one be reviewed? Does not seem to be that way. He is receiving some treatment. But play continued as we see the goal once again. Para Junior, beautiful finish, but South Africa left exposed on the counter-attack. Their rest defense at 6s and 7s, and they nearly got us exposed once again. Diakite just taking one touch too many, ultimately losing the opportunity. But now it is South Africa who went forward. Botloko with a great effort, but great save, equally great save from Ouedraogo. Set play, corner kick to South Africa. Can they profit from it? Marilete with the set play. Can he beat the first man? Not quite. Fofana once again steps and gets a touch on it. And it's a counter-attack once again. It is the ball played through to Barra. But once again, good work there from Martinez. Strong defending from Martinez. Make sure that it doesn't allow Barra to advance. But South Africa exposing themselves once again on the counter-attack. Their rest defense not quite good enough, as we see. Tapsoba getting forward, but surely that is offside. Quite a long way offside as well. But he gets forward. Can he finish it? It doesn't quite, but certainly the call is offside. Radebe takes the quick free kick into the feet of Marilete. We keep going, and the ball called to be restarted, and it is Sekgotha who restarts things. The ball now at the feet of Martinez. Well, the match played at a frantic pace right now. South Africa need an answer. They need some kind of response. They are a goal down, and as things stand, they are still good to qualify, but they do not want to leave anything to chance. It is Sekgotha with the ball out wide, cuts inside, still Sekgotha on the ball. Sekgotha still tries to square it, but just too many bodies in the way. Eventually the ball driven out of defense by Barra, and he is fouled eventually by the substitute Mlondo. But once again, just one touch too many in and around the Burkina Faso 18 area, not taking responsibility, not having the shot on goal. Burkina Faso now keeping possession. And it is South Africa who will now have to chase the game. Londo getting back, putting pressure. Ouedraogo will play it forward. And it is Leketla who challenges with Tapsoba, does beautifully to win it. The ball won eventually there from Londo. Combination there with Marilete. Still alive. It's Emil Witbooi. Has he come back from an offside position? Remains to be seen. Still South Africa in possession of it. Still they get forward, but Mlondo eventually. Emil Witbooi not able to get the ball through to Mlondo. Loose in possession there from Tapsoba. Mokokosi steps in, plays it out wide. It is Botloko now. 1v1 with Ouedraogo. Not able to get it out. And it is the substitute who picks it up. Nana is able to play it out of defense. Plays the ball forward to Diakite, who does well to really keep possession against Martinez. Ouedraogo with the long ball forward. Seems to have been played on by Sekgotha. It is Martinez now who drives back, bundles over his man for the free kick, and will be cautioned for his efforts. Martinez will say that was a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, but not quite seen that way. And it is a free kick in a great position there for Burkina Faso. It is the substitute Nana who thought he had gotten beyond. Martinez bundling him over just outside the 18 area. No question of a penalty or anything of the sort, but it is a great position, a great area. And we can see it is Bagayogo standing over the ball, as well as Dara, I think it is, Barra in fact, who might have a strike at goal, but, and now that man has joined the fray. It is Tapsoba who is looking to have a go at this one as well. Burkina Faso will want to put this game to bed as soon as possible. Just an update, 77 minutes gone in Mohammedia, and Egypt still lead by 2-1. It is Tapsoba. We've seen he is quite venomous with these strikes. South Africa getting ready to make another change, but they will only do it after the free kick is taken. And it is Tapsoba steps forward, but unfortunately skies his effort, nowhere near the goal of Radebe, not quite troubling Radebe. We saw that in the game against Egypt. His free kick strike led to the opening goal that was finished by the captain, Dabo. And it is Neo Botloko, who makes way. And Khaukelo Monanyane steps in. He will operate down this right flank, the diminutive character, but really skillful, hard worker, hard runner, really good on the ball. He'll look to impact and influence the game. But that's the end of the day for Neo Botloko, who's had his opportunities, unfortunately missed a penalty in the first half. South Africa really stretched at the moment and not quite compact, and are getting exposed whenever they lose the ball. It is a throw in to Burkina Faso. It is Koulibaly, their left fullback, who will take the throw. And Koulibaly once again just drives the ball forward to nobody in particular, but he gains ground in doing so and sends South Africa back into their defensive third. High press being employed now by Burkina Faso. You can see them not allowing South Africa out. Great turn from Kamu Marilete to get out of a bit of a trouble there. Good work there. Again, it is Marilete who finds himself in trouble, tries to turn between two players, but loses it, and it is Burkina Faso on the attack. Ouedraogo with the ball out wide, Nana outside him, and Ouedraogo has the shot, but great block from Martinez, and eventually it does fall to Monanyane. The ball now with Mlangeni, but Mlondo with a loose touch. The clearance from Bagayogo falling to Marilete. He plays Monanyane, Mokokosi into the feet of Witboy. Unfortunately, not able to hold it up, loses possession quite cheaply. Able to win it back is Witboy. Does beautifully, glides past two players, and it is Fofana who drags him to the ground. And will he be cautioned? I think he gets away with one there as Emile Witboy advanced beautifully, possibly erring on the side of caution there. Could easily have gone into the book for that challenge. But what can South Africa do from this? A great position. Can they profit from it? Martinez has stepped up. He's got the left boot. The free kick favors the left footer. We've seen him drive them beautifully across the park. How is he on the dead ball? Martinez now with the opportunity to draw his country back level. Everybody back for Burkina Faso, not leaving anything to chance. It's going to take something quite special to beat Prince Ouedraogo from here. We've seen Tapsoba have one, get it hopelessly wrong. Can Martinez do better? He steps forward and strikes it, but unfortunately drives it. Tries to go for that far post, but doesn't get the cleanest of contact on the ball. "82 minutes gone. Burkina Faso will take their time, in no hurry to get play started, in no hurry to get proceedings underway. Both teams, as it stands, will finish first and second as the day began. The only change in the group at the moment is for third and fourth, as Egypt are still in charge, still in control. And they are a man up as well in their match against Cameroon, looking very likely to seal third place. Burkina Faso get forward now. It is the substitute Nana with the ball in the South African 18 area, challenged by Mzimela, forced backward by Mzimela. Beautiful work from Mzimela, not allowing Nana to get beyond him. Great work there from the young man. He does beautifully in his 1v1 situation once again, has done so all afternoon long, even against a man who's given nightmares to many defenses, Diaby. Mzimela has really acquitted himself very well this afternoon. I would say the back four have really stepped up for South Africa. Looked a lot more solid in this match. Kleketla as well as Martinez, but now again possession given away cheaply, but it is a foul. It is Mokokose who wins the foul. Emil Witbooi picks it up out wide, cuts inside, looks for Mlangeni. The combination back to Emil Witbooi, out wide to Mlondo. Can he beat his man? It's 1v1 with Ouedraogo, comes inside, finds Emil, 1-2 around the 18 area. Again, just slightly overplaying it once again, and it is Burkina Faso who can break out. It is Barra down this left flank, picks it up. Sekgotho back in defense, recovers beautifully, and Burkina Faso restart play. Koulibaly tries to play it inside, holds on to it. Koulibaly not quite sure if he can play it. It is Diakite who's come back from an offside position. Marilete picks it up, wins the throw in. South Africa keep possession. And so it is a throw to South Africa in their half. Once again, loose pass there from Mokokose. That has proved very costly this afternoon for South Africa. Some very loose passes, losing possession in key areas, as we see the end of the day for a man who's been a thorn in the side of South Africa, Issouf Barra, the goal scorer. He makes way. He makes way for Konate. Double sub being made by Burkina Faso. As we can see, man wearing jersey number 12 makes his way onto the field. That is Gustav Yaro. He comes on for Halidou Diakite. Diakite also will have sleepless nights. Had some great opportunities to get his name on the score sheet this afternoon, but unable to do so. Well, as things stand, 1-0 to Burkina Faso. They are on 9 points from 9 in this group. Was always going to be a challenging group, but they have done beautifully and managed their games very well to make sure they get the wins in their respective games. The young man there, Monanyani, just becoming a sandwich between a few white jerseys there. Fofana, last touch of Fofana. Throw to South Africa. Mokokose with the ball. Mlangeni, can't find Mlondo. It is Witbooi. Now, it is the substitute that drives down that right-hand flank, but loses his footing under the challenge of Witbooi. Marilete picks it up. South Africa playing out of defense. Martinez driving with the ball out of defense. Eventually the long ball, but once again not getting the better of Koulibaly. Good work from Tleketla there in centre-back. And it is Emil Witbooi who gets beyond his man. Beautiful work from Witbooi once again. Eventually plays the ball out wide to Sekgotho, but the ball goes out for a throw. Well read there by Marilete, but knocks it into touch. Nana has now moved over to the left-hand flank, and the other sub, Gustav Yaro, now operating down the right-hand side for Burkina Faso. It is Martinez who picks it up. Mlangeni again with the loose pass, making it a 50-50 pass when it should just go directly to his teammate Sekgotho. They lose possession. Koulibaly with the throw. Tries to play in Nana there. Marilete does well. Back to defend, to help out in defense. Mokokose loses out. And South Africa once again loose in possession. And you cannot allow that man Tapsoba space and time with an absolute thunderbolt. Gives Lwandiso Radebe no chance in goal for South Africa. But once again, losing possession, losing the ball in pivotal areas, in key areas. South Africa are their own worst enemy at the moment. Beautiful strike there from Tapsoba. Ashraf Tapsoba with his 4th goal of the tournament. And what a goal it is once again. We've seen him score some scorches And that is amongst the best of the lot. A beautiful strike that absolutely no chance for Radebe in goal. Clean strike of the ball. Radebe diving to his right. But it was always going in the back of the net. Absolutely no chance for Radebe. And 2-1, 2-0, the scoreline. And that is 2 goals in each of the matches that Burkina Faso have played. They've scored at least 2 goals. Great goal from Tapsoba, now on 4 goals for the tournament. And South Africa, once again, will only have themselves to blame. But you have to give credit to Burkina Faso. Absolutely deadly on the counter-attack. It's a tactic they've employed from the first day against Cameroon, and they've done it to aplomb. Beautiful on the counter, and none more so than Tapsoba. We saw him score from the halfway line in the opening game, and now from a good distance out, an absolute thunderbolt that left Radebe in goal for South Africa, sprawling across his goal, but absolutely no chance. It is once again Burkina Faso through on goal. The substitute not able to get anything on it. Bilha Konate beautifully ghosts in, but not able to get beyond Londiso Radebe. Not much on his shot to really trouble Radebe either. Mlangeni and Mareletse combining. Monanyane finds Emil Witbooi. South Africa seem to be running out of options, out of ideas, getting forward into the half of Burkina Faso. Witbooi does well to find Londo. Londo does well to keep possession. The ball being recycled now at the feet of Mareletse. Out to Sikota, back to Mareletse. Can they build up? Can they get forward? It is very, very predictable at the moment, and Burkina Faso happy for them to play in front of their defense, not really getting beyond that last line of defense of Burkina Faso. The ball going all the way back to Radebe now. Radebe with the long ball forward, and you can see there it is Monanyane challenging, but the ball runs through, and it is Ouedraogo who knocks it forward. The ball knocked back by Nana to Koulibaly, who just knocks it forward, and South Africa pick it up in the midfield once again. It is Mlangeni who plays it forward. As we can see, in the meantime, the big man up front, Uacheng Lebesane, has made his way onto the field. Can South Africa get one back? Picked up by Mareletse. Lebesane, not quite on the same wavelength there, Lebesane. Sikota with the ball does beautifully to turn his man into the field. Mlangeni, loose pass once again, and the ball is lost. Burkina Faso taking no chances, just booting the ball clear. Not allowing South Africa to get any kind of joy in and around their 18 area in their half. Absolutely no chance. Kone goes in recklessly, dives in there, and it is Mlangeni who inadvertently steps on the ankle. But a very reckless challenge coming in there from Ali Kone. And he comes off worse for wear for it. Tapsoba with a smile on his face, absolutely loving his time out in Morocco. 6 minutes of added time allotted, already just about 3.5 minutes gone. And this game seems to be all but over. Tapsoba only had one thing on his mind. Once he had turned and faced the South African goal, he was always going to have a strike. And he knew exactly how to get it in the back of the net. And once again, trying to repeat his efforts from the opening game against Cameroon. A shot from great distance from well beyond, from the halfway line, and eventually just picked up and thrown in, brought back into touch by Luandiso Radebe. Well, I can tell you that 93 minutes are gone. There were only 4 minutes allotted in the game between Egypt and Cameroon. Egypt still leading 2-1, 30 seconds to go in that match. Cameroon need 1 goal to at least guarantee themselves 3rd place. The match nearing an end. That result favors South Africa. They will still advance in 2nd place, despite the loss this afternoon. A minute and a half to just over a minute and a half to go in this contest. Burkina Faso driving forward now once again. It is 1 back, and beautiful work once again there from Zimela. He's worked really well in that left full-back position this afternoon. Another substitution being made by Burkina Faso to eat up the last of this minute remaining. 5 minutes have elapsed. 45 seconds to go. Adriana Diarra makes his way onto the field. Adriana Dambre makes his way onto the field for what is the last 30 seconds, essentially. I can tell you that proceedings are over. Egypt have finished 3rd in the group and will be in the 3rd place playoff. Cameroon, the first team, I suppose, officially knocked out of the tournament. And their tournament has come to a disappointing end. Only the 1 point to show for their campaign from the allotted 3 matches. South Africa now, the 6 minutes have come and gone. And that is how it ends. Burkina Faso finished top of Group B and will come up against the runners-up in Group A. And that will be decided this evening. We know that Zambia, Uganda, and Morocco very much still alive to finish in the top 2 positions. That's who Group B will come up against. But Burkina Faso have done the business on the day and have secured their passage with 3 points from their 2-0 victory over South Africa. They finish on 9 points. South Africa still advance in 2nd position with the 4 points that they've amassed from their 3 matches. A win in the opening match against Egypt, proving instrumental. The draw against Cameroon in their 2nd match day. They had to fight tooth and nail to get the 1 point, and ultimately that is the difference. And that's what sees them finish in 2nd place in Group B. They will be in the quarterfinals of the Under-17 CAF Cup of Nations. Well done to the respective teams. Tapsoba, once again, with an amazing effort to make sure he gets his name on the score sheet. And it is that man, Ouedraogo, who gets the Man of the Match award. It speaks volumes. South Africa literally will feel that they had the beating of Burkina Faso. They had missed the penalty. Ouedraogo had made some really critical